is Miss Harris from Planet Education with your active home learning. Today we are going to be focusing on sending, so we're going to be looking at our underarm and our overarm throw. But before that, it's obviously really important for every PE lesson that we do a nice warm up to make sure our heart rates increase and our bodies are all nice and warm for our lesson. So what I need you to do is just find a nice safe space. Make sure you've got headroom above you and you've got room either side. Okay, get yourself set up and then we'll get going. Okay, for our warm up today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be jogging on the spot. When I give you an instruction, you then have to follow that instruction. The first two instructions that we are going to have jump up and then we're going to have go down. Now when you go down, you're going to go down onto two hands, move your feet back and then come back up, straight back into jogging. Okay, I'm going to do it at the same time as you. I want to see if you can be faster than me. Are you ready? Okay, jogging on the spot. And up, and jogging on the spot again. That's it, and down. And jogging on the spot. And up, and jogging on the spot. And back down. Okay, I think you can do it a little bit faster. So, when you're ready, we're going to speed up a little bit. Jogging on the spot. And up. Well done, jogging on the spot. Back down. Jogging on the spot. Back up. And quickly down. Excellent. Back to you. Up, down. Jogging on the spot. And up. Okay, and stop there. You now have 30 seconds to grab yourself a quick drink and then we'll go back straight into the warm-up. Okay, back to our warm-up. So we've had up and we've had down. Now what you're going to do is you're going to have right and you're going to have left as well. So we've got two more instructions just to make it that little bit harder. Still jogging on the spot, still trying to get that heart rate up, okay? And we've still got up and down as well. So when you're ready, let's go. And up. And right. And back in. And left, back in, down, back in, up, right, gone the wrong way, keep going, back to right, and left, back in. Up, down, up, right, and left, and down, up, down, right, and left. Okay, stop there. Okay, we're going to do one more stage of our warm-up. So we've got up, we've got down, we've got right, we've got left. We're now going to add in forward and back. Again, we're focusing on raising that heart rate. Okay, so still jogging on the spot. Let's go. Left, back in, good, and up, and down, and forward, and back, and right, up, down, left, right, forward, back, up, back, and down, and stop there. Okay, grab yourself a drink, and then we'll get going on our throwing. Okay, so we're going to go into our throwing now. Now we are going to look at overarm and underarm, but to start off with, we're going to just look at underarm, okay? So what you'll need is a nice big space like I've got here, and then you need 4 markers. They can be anything that you will have in your house or your flat. 4 markers just laid out, bit of space in between, okay? And then you will need something that you need to throw with. Now that can be a bit of rolled up socks, it can be a ball if you've got one, or if you've got something like a beanbag lying around the flat, then that is fine as well, okay? Right, what we're going to start off with is just underarm. So you're going to stand by your first marker, and you're just going to see if you can throw your throwing implement out in front of you, okay? So if I've got my beanbag, I'm just throwing to see how far I can throw it, okay? If I get it past that first cone to start off with, you can then see if you can get it past the second cone. So you're just going to challenge yourself each time. That's it, so set up, throw, out you go, set up. Okay, now when we're throwing underarm, it's really, really important that our arm and our hand is coming underneath our shoulder. That's what makes it an underarm throw, okay? And you want to make sure you're bringing your arm back and then you're swinging it forward and letting go in front of you, okay? So if you come back to your starting marker, your hand comes back and then you let go of the beanbag in front of you, okay? What's really, really important with our arms is that where our hand and our fingers end up pointing, that's where the beanbag or the thing that we're throwing ends up. So if my fingers are pointing to the ground, the beanbag will end up on the floor. If my fingers are pointing to the sky, my beanbag will end up going really high. So when you're doing it, make sure that when you bring it back, you swing it forward and your fingers follow what you are throwing, okay? That way we know it's going to go in front of us. Okay, so have a few practices with your swinging arm, making sure you're bringing it back. The further back you go, the more power you will add, okay? That's it, pick it up. Then you go back to the start, reset yourself, bring that arm back, throw it forward. Excellent. Make sure you follow your beanbag or your throwing thing you are throwing with your fingers. Good. Keep going. Back to your starting marker. That's it. And again, follow the beanbag. Excellent. Okay, now, what we're going to look at now is we're just going to use our non-throwing arm to help us a little bit more, okay? Now, if I was facing you and I was throwing towards you, I would have my arm out, pointed at what I am throwing at, okay? So I would throw at the target like this. Then what I'm going to do, I hold the beanbag in my other hand, I bring it back, and I'm going to let go of the beanbag when my 2 hands meet, okay? Again, still, I'm swinging the beanbag back, okay, like this. My arm is out in front of me, and then I'm bringing my 2 hands together, and I'm letting go of the beanbag then, okay? My fingers still follow the beanbag just to make sure it goes in the right direction, okay? So if I set up at the beginning, I'll aim there, so my arm would be pointed at my target, what I am aiming for. I bring my arm back, and then I let go of the beanbag when my 2 hands meet, okay? Still making sure those fingers on my throwing arm are following the beanbag, okay? So pointed, 2 hands there, bring it back, let go. Excellent. And come back. Good. So aiming arm where I'm going, hands ready, let go of the beanbag when my 2 hands come together, okay? Let's keep going, let's keep trying, keep practicing to make sure we get it perfect. Excellent. And remember, the further I bring my arm back is the more power, or is the bigger the power. So the bigger the swing, the more power there is in your throw, okay? We don't want to go all the way back here because you'll lose your power, but we just want to go a little bit back, fingers pointing where you're going, and then hopefully we can go a little bit further, okay? Go and get the beanbag. Let's try that. Let's try making our big swing a little bit bigger to get past that furthest cone. There we go, excellent. Let's go get it. Okay, let's go get it. Reset at the beginning. Arm out, hands there, swing. There we go, okay. Okay, grab yourself a drink and then we'll get into our third coaching point, ready for our challenges. Okay, so we've talked about our aiming arm and our throwing arm and making sure that we've got a nice big swing on our throwing arm. What I want us to think about now is our body shape, okay? Now, when I'm throwing, if I'm throwing with this hand, it is my opposite leg that steps forward, okay? This is to make sure that as we're throwing, we're nice and balanced, so we're not gonna wobble everywhere and then our throwing object is going to go everywhere, okay? So we need to make sure that we're nice and balanced, okay? You'll see also that as I step forward, my knees are nice and bent and I haven't got a bent back, okay? I don't want an old lady's back, so I want a nice straight back as I'm throwing. It is my knees that do the bending, okay? So if I go to my starting cone, make sure I set up so it is my opposite foot that goes forward. I have to use my aiming arm. My back is nice and straight and my knees are bent. Aiming arm, hands go there. Nice big swing. Let go of the beanbag when your two hands meet, okay? Obviously, we don't want to be throwing it too far because we are indoors at the moment and we don't want to be knocking anything over. So try and set it up so that you're not going any further than your final marker, okay? If you need to move your final marker to make sure you are challenging yourself, then please do that. Okay, set myself up, opposite foot goes forward, aiming arm out. That's it. Okay, let's have a quick try on this again. Set myself up. Okay. Let's keep going. Good. Okay, every time we come back to the game, we reset ourselves. Opposite foot going forward, aiming arm out. Excellent. That's it. What you can do as you get more confident is you can take away your aiming arm and just imagine it as you are throwing. Okay, so you don't have to have your aiming up every time you throw if you feel more confident with it, okay? If you still need your aiming arm there, please, please, please use it. But if you don't and you feel more confident, then you can just aim using your fingers, okay? But maybe that's a challenge that we can aim for as we get older. Okay, reset. Might have my aiming arm out this time. There we go. Okay, grab yourself a drink and then we'll get into our throwing challenges. Okay, so what we're going to do now that we've learned our technique for throwing, we are going to look at trying to throw for different distances. Okay, so you have your markers set up for you. This is our starting cone, and then we've got marker 1, marker 2 and marker 3, okay? What we're going to do, you're going to set up for the first 5 throws, you're going to aim at marker 1. Once you've hit all 5 at marker 1, you can then move on to marker 2. You then have 5 throws at marker 2. If you can do every throw to marker 2, you then get to progress on to marker 3. Okay, so I'm going to do it with you, so let's go. Aiming arm up, set myself up. Don't forget to set yourself up. So that's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Okay, so we've managed to throw the beanbag at our first marker 5 times. So we can now challenge ourselves and make it that little bit more difficult. Okay, so we still set ourselves up in the same way, but this time we're going to be aiming for our second marker. Okay, can we get our throwing object in line with our second marker? So that's 1. Again, we're going to do this 5 times to make sure that we are really, really good at it. Oh, it's a little bit short, so I might try that one again. So we're still on 2. 2, there we go. So that's, I've done that twice, still 3 more to do. 3. 4, excellent. Resetting every time. 5, okay. So on this level, we can go on to our third challenge, okay? So now we're going a little bit further to our third marker, okay? Again, we're gonna try and do it for 5 just so we can make sure we're nice and confident with it. So, setting up, change my aiming arm. Obviously, I'm aiming a little bit further now, okay? Still the same with our swinging arm and our throwing, trying to follow that beanbag with our fingers, okay? Oh, I didn't quite make it, so I've got to go get it and try again. Remember, the bigger the swing, the more power there is, so maybe I'll make my swing a little bit bigger. It's a little bit better, still not quite making it. There we go, so that's 1. 2. 'Reset, making sure those knees are bent. 3. 'Oh, that's not quite there, so I've got to do that one again. Make sure I reset my body. There we go, aiming arm out. Oh, that's a little bit too far. There we go, number 4. One more time. There we go, number 5. Okay, grab yourself a drink and then we'll go on to our challenge number 2. Okay, so for level 2 of our throwing challenge, we need a bigger sort of target to aim at within our distances, okay? So I'm going to use a hoop. You can use something like a t-shirt or a pillow, but it's just something to target at within our distances, okay? So I'm going to start off by placing it by my first target, okay? Again, I've got my throwing object. I set myself up on that first cone, and I've now got a smaller target to aim for, but in the same distance, okay? So this is where our aiming arm is really, really important so that we can concentrate on the accuracy of our throw, okay? Setting up our knees, bending them, aiming arm out, and let go. So that's 1. Again, we're going to do it 5 times on each cone to make sure that we're really confident and competent with it. 2. 3. 4. 5. Okay, so that's 5 throws in that first hoop. So we're just going to move our bigger target just a little bit onto our second marker, okay? Now on this throw, what I might try and do is make my swing a little bit bigger because that target is further away from me, okay? So again, I set up my legs, making sure I bend my knees. My aiming arm is still pointing at the hoop, but now it's a little bit further away. 1. 2. 3. 4. Oh, if it bounces out, that's fine. Its first bounce was on the target, okay? So that is okay. One more on this level. There we go. Right, so that's 5 on that station. So what we're going to do is we're now going to move it that little bit further. Okay, so this is the furthest cone, which means it's going to be even more of a challenge. So because it's further away, again, I'm going to adjust my swing to add a little bit more power to my throw. 1. 2. That's it. Making sure we reset at that beginning cone every time. 3. 4. One last go at this challenge. And 5. Okay. Grab yourself a drink. Okay, back to our challenges. Now I've still got my big target, okay, but now what you need is a little target as well. Now I want it to be something, if you can, that you can throw the beanbag into so that it can sit in the target, okay? Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to my target 1. So I'm back at the first stage of our challenge. I lay down my big target, and this time I'm going to put the little target inside my big target, okay? So I've made it that little bit harder by adding something smaller. Still the same, still setting up on my first cone, but what I'm going to try and do is try and land the beanbag in the point, okay? We're going to have 5 goes on each cone, hoping to make ourselves a bit more confident each time, okay? The setup's still the same, so my opposite foot goes forward. I bend my knees, my aiming arm points to what I am aiming for, and my throwing arm comes back into a small swing, and then I let go of the beanbag when my 2 hands meet, okay? Let's try this. 1. Reset. Oh, missed that, so I get another go. Now obviously because it's the closest target to me, my swing's not going to be too big. So I just want a little one so I'm not adding too much power. Okay? 2. 3. 4. 5. Okay, this one is a little bit harder, so if you don't do all 5, that's fine. Just pause the video and practice, okay? Try and get it into the hoop or your object each time. We now move it back onto our second marker, making sure our little target is inside our big target. This time, hopefully, I'll be able to get it in from here, making sure I add a little bit more power in my swing, okay? 1 foot forward again, bend my knees, aiming arm out. Oh, didn't quite make it. One. So if it bounces in and bounces out, that is fine. 2. Oh, that was a little bit too hard, so too much power on that one, so my swing was too big. There you go, 3. Oh, not quite long enough. 4. Oh, too much power again. 5. Okay, what I want you to do is move your target up to that final station. Place your small target in the middle, and then we're going to have a go at getting the beanbag into that smaller target. Now this is a little bit further away, so it's a little bit harder, so you might not get it in each of the 5 times, but the good thing is we can practice and we can keep getting better each time. Okay, we reset, bend our knees, aiming arm out. It's further away, so I need a bigger swing this time. Excellent. That's it, reset. Let's keep going. It's okay if you miss, we're just practicing. That's it, we'll have 2 more tries and then we'll move on to our final challenge. Bit too much power on that one. Okay, grab yourself a drink and then we'll move on to our final challenge. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to look at the different challenges, but this time we're going to look at using our overarm throw. Okay, so we set up very similarly to the underarm throw. You put your opposite foot forward, okay, and then you can use your aiming arm out in front of you, but this time, instead of us going below our shoulder, we are going above our shoulder. So that's what makes it an overarm throw, okay? So we're still using our aiming arm, legs are the same, bending our knees, keeping that back nice and straight, but this time our throwing object goes above our shoulder, okay? Now, we're gonna try, you are gonna choose which level you would like to do your overarm throwing at, okay? So I have level 1, which is our 3 markers in the different distances, okay? And then we've got our bigger target and our smaller target. So you can choose which distance you would like to throw at based on how successful you were with the underarm throw. I'm just going to choose this middle distance because I think that's where I was most successful. Okay, now you can choose whether you want to use the bigger target and the smaller target, or if you just want to use the bigger target. Now, because we're practicing, I'm going to take the smaller target away. I might add that in later as a bit of a challenge. So I'm going to leave that there. I go back to my starting marker. I set up my body, so opposite foot forward, aiming arm out. This time, the beanbag comes above my shoulder and I throw into the hoop, okay? Now, we're still making sure that when I'm setting myself up and I've got my aiming arm, I'm letting go of the beanbag when my 2 hands come together. Okay, that is why my aiming arm is there, for the accuracy of my throw. So my beanbag goes above my shoulder, aiming at my target and throw. Okay, you're aiming to get it in that bigger target each time, but I've obviously set the challenge of the second marker as my distance. Okay, now with your throwing arm, normally you would use this if you were throwing on a longer distance and further away, but because we're inside, we obviously haven't got much space to deal with, okay? So keep practicing. If I was successful with this hoop a lot of time, what I would do is I would then move it a little bit further away and then add in my smaller target, okay? So that is your challenge. Can you now practice at home? Let us know in the comments how you get on, and we'll see you next time.